Job fairs. Should you go? Are they worth it? Hey, I'm Abby and welcome back to the Life Work Balance YouTube channel. And today I want to answer exactly those questions. Before we jump into that, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're looking forward to today's content. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can receive life work balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. So job fairs. Should you go? Absolutely yes. Why? Why are job fairs something that you should consider going to if you're looking for a new job? Well, if you're applying to jobs only online, you are hitting a small percentage of the market. Sure, if you go to a job fair, you may need to apply to a job online after you've gone. However, if you are only applying online, you are missing out on a huge networking opportunity. Job fairs provide you this networking opportunity. Not only can you interact with people who actually work for the organization, likely recruiters or even hiring managers, but it gives you the opportunity to learn more about the organization that you could potentially work for, to learn more about the people who work for those organizations, and to learn about the specific positions available within those organizations. Another thing that sometimes happens at job fairs is on-the-spot interviews and possible on-the-spot hiring. Usually hiring is contingent on passing a background check, but job fairs sometimes have impromptu interviews and the ability to be hired into a job that same day. So job fairs are always in your best interest to attend as long as the organizations and the industry match up with the jobs that you're trying to get into. So with that being said, job fairs are important. So what do you need to bring and how do you prepare for a job fair? Well, first and foremost, you need to do your research ahead of time before you attend the job fair. You need to make sure that the job fair is even in the industry that you want to move into. If I have a psychology degree, I'm probably not going to go to an engineering job fair because there's a very small chance that I, with no engineering background, will get a job as an engineer. So you want to make sure that the job fair that you're attending is in the correct industry. You also want to do some research on the different types of organizations that might be present at this job fair. Sure, this job fair could be put on by a single organization, or it could be put on by like a university or a chamber of commerce, some sort of larger organization that's bringing multiple employers into one place. So do your research. Make sure that the industry aligns with where you want to go, and do your research on the different organizations that are present. When you figure out what organizations will be there, look at each of their websites. Read their About Us sections. Look at their open job boards. See if there are any jobs that pop out to you and resonate with you as something that you could see yourself doing in the future. Get to know the organizations. You might find that you have a preference for some over others. You also will want to make sure that you have a little bit of knowledge about the industry that you're going into, so that if employers ask you questions while at this job fair, you don't feel blindsided or stumble on your words trying to figure out what they're trying to ask you. When you're doing your research, you'll hopefully answer the question, why are you going to this job fair? Beyond just getting a job, why this job fair? Why these organizations? What sorts of opportunities are you looking for? What value can you provide these organizations and employers? So research the companies and the industry that this job fair is about, and answer the question for yourself why you're going to this job fair. What are you going to get out of it, and what are they going to get out of it? And go a little bit deeper than just getting a job. Once you have done your research on the industry and the organizations that will be present, it's time to figure out exactly what you're going to wear to this job fair. You're going to want to dress up. Make it a little bit professional. You do not want to wear what you would find yourself wearing on a Saturday morning, sitting on the couch watching some TV. You want to dress for the part. This doesn't mean that you have to have a formal dress or suit that you wear to the job fair. However, you do want to dress up and dress in a professionally appropriate way. So if I were going to a job fair, I would likely wear some dark slacks, some closed-toed shoes like ballet flats, and a nice blouse. I would also make sure that my hair is brushed, I've probably got some makeup on, and I might even get my nails done. So you want to dress the part. You want to make a good first impression. You're going to be networking with people at this job fair, and you want them to remember you. And you don't want them to think of you as that person who looked like a complete slob coming into the job fair. You want to make a good, positive first impression. In fact, I've got a whole video about how to make a good impression during the job search process. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and check that out. I've linked to it in the description box below. So once you've done your research on the industry and the organizations that will be there, once you've determined what you're going to wear, next it's time to revamp your resume. Now, I preach tailored resumes. This is only when you're applying to jobs directly. If I am applying to a job with an organization, I need to tailor my resume to match that job. However, job fairs, you might find multiple types of jobs that could be good fits for you. While they all are in the same industry, likely, you will still need a more general, generic resume beyond a tailored resume. So, for a job fair, you need to prepare a more general, generic resume. For example, you might need a customer service specific resume or an administrative specific resume. Figure out what the industry is and build a resume around that specific industry. Include all relevant education, include all relevant work experience, and I can't believe I'm saying this, also include relevant skills. If you've watched any of my videos on resumes, the skills section is one that I recommend throwing out all of the time because it's too general and generic and not necessarily quantifiable. However, skills like interpersonal communication, Microsoft Office, Google Workspace, data analysis, etc., those types of skills listed as keywords at the top or bottom of your resume are perfect for job fairs because it gives whoever you're giving your resume to at the job fair a really quick snapshot about what your skills are. Now, if you're applying to an individual specific job, stay away from skills sections. They just take up valuable space on your resume. However, for a job fair, you need to show your general skills and show off who you are as a professional, not necessarily a professional for a specific position. So that's why I do recommend having a quick snapshot of the skills that you have that can set you apart from other potential candidates. The other thing you absolutely must do on your resume is have your LinkedIn profile listed. Your resume for a job fair should still only be about 1, maybe 2 pages long. And if it's 2 pages long, you need to make sure it's double-sided and not 2 pages stapled together. Try to strive for that 1 page though. If you have a 1-page resume, you're likely not going to be able to fit everything that you have experienced on that resume. So if you put your LinkedIn profile on your general resume, whoever sees that resume will likely go look at your LinkedIn profile and be able to see the depth and breadth of your education and your experience beyond what you were able to fit on that single-paged resume. Once you have your resume prepared and ready to go, it is time to prepare some answers to some basic interview questions. No matter what, you absolutely must have your elevator pitch ready to go. Your elevator pitch is likely your answer to the interview question, "Tell me about yourself." When you're networking with potential recruiters and maybe even hiring managers at job fairs, you will want to give them just a quick spiel about who you are, what you do, and why you do it. I have a whole video about how to answer this question, so if you haven't already, please go ahead and check it out. I've linked to it in the description box below. Your answer to this question should be about 30 to 90 seconds, but no more. So make sure that you have your elevator pitch prepared and ready to go so that when they ask you this question multiple times throughout the job fair, you have something that is conversational and smooth and easy to go right off the bat. You will also want to prepare your answers to some very common behavioral-based interview questions. Behavioral-based interview questions are going to get at general themes about how you behave in the workspace. These are questions about communication, conflict resolution, teamwork, how you handle deadlines, and prioritization. You will be able to spot a behavior-based interview question because it will start out very similar to, "Tell me about a time when you ... You will want to focus on behaviors rather than details of situations. I have several videos about how to answer behavior-based interview questions and formulas that will help you answer these questions. So I highly recommend checking those out. I've linked to them in the description box below. You will for sure want to have several scenarios prepared so that you can use those to answer those behavioral-based interview questions. And you'll want to share them using the STAR or CAR formula to answer all behavioral-based interview questions. In addition to preparing to answer some interview questions, you will want to have some questions prepared as well for you to ask the people that you are meeting with at the job fair. These are questions that you would likely ask at the end of an interview. What is your favorite thing about working at this organization? What do you see their biggest challenges being? Things like that. So I've got several videos on questions that you can ask at the end of an interview, so you can pull some of your ideas from those videos. Again, I've linked to those in the description box below. And finally, the last thing that you need to remember to do at a job fair is to get the contact information of the people that you've met with. Ideally, you get their name and their email address. You might even connect with them on LinkedIn. In fact, I highly, highly recommend connecting with these people on LinkedIn while you're meeting with them. So ask them if they have a LinkedIn profile. Ask them if it would be all right if you connected with them. Pull out your phone, find them on LinkedIn, send them a connection request, and don't forget the personalized message. Say something like, "Hello, Sarah. I met you at this job fair. I am interested in working with your organization doing this specific type of work. I would love to connect with you so we can continue to stay in touch. Thanks," and then sign your name. You have a limited number of characters to use for your connection request messages, so you need to be strategic about how you spend those characters, but it is essential that you remind the person you're connecting with about who you are and why you're connecting with them. This will allow you to maintain a relationship with them. So even if you don't find a job with them at this job fair, they can then keep you in mind and you can keep them in mind for future job applications. So, job fairs, they are the easiest way to network with actual people who work with actual organizations. There are several things you can do to prepare for a job fair, and I highly recommend following those things that we've talked about today to be successful at a job fair. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas about job fairs, if you've ever been to one or things that have gone well or maybe didn't go so well at job fairs, please leave them in the comments box below. I look at all of the comments that come through and I respond to them individually. So please, if you have anything to say about this topic, put them in the comments below and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. If you haven't already, please remember to go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can receive life-work balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.